Hi, my name is Aharon Sadia, and this video is part of a series, 32 Previews, previewing all 32 teams in the National Hockey League. In this video, the team is the Anaheim Ducks. So the first question is, where were they 3 years ago? The Anaheim Ducks in 2018 had two players top 60 points, and due to impressive goaltending by John Gibson, he faced 400 more shots than the previous season, with 1,872 shots faced in 60 games, and allowing only 30 more goals. The Ducks marked off on a 101-point season. They were quickly swept aside by the San Jose Sharks in the first round, and only scored 4 goals the entire 4-game season. The only time they had a lead was at the beginning of Game 2, and 4 players had 2 points, but nobody had more than that. So next up, the 2018-19 season. The Ducks were trying to figure out what their goal was for the next few years, and they discovered it. They missed the playoffs, finishing 6th in their division, and no player hit 50 points, even though 4 out of 5 players in the top 5 in scoring had at least 40, and Nick Ritchie had 31 for 5th place. They also fired their coach, and their GM Bob Murray stepped behind the bench, saying the situation was more problematic than I thought. They finished last in goals scored, and would have finished last in goals allowed had it not been for star goalie John Gibson, finishing with a .917 save percentage in 58 games. Fun fact, he played 5 more games than any nominee for the Vezina Trophy, and finished .008 behind the worst of the finalists. He did a good enough job to be considered for the Vezina, receiving a 3rd place vote and finishing tied for 10th in the Vezina voting in a year where his team finished 8th last in the league. He was that good, and Ryan Miller, his backup, was solid when he needed to be and had a .912 save percentage in 20 games. Then this season, Anaheim finished 5th last, and no player topped 43 points. It was a tough season, even for John Gibson. Through 51 games, had a .904 save percentage, while the team finished 27th overall, in front of the Kings, Sharks, Senators, and Red Wings. So on to the next question. Where are they now? The simple answer to this question is in transition. The Ducks' top scorer this past year was Adam Henrique, who they received last year for Sami Vatanen in a trade with New Jersey, followed by a couple of new leaders, Rickard Rakell and Jakob Silfverberg, and Ryan Getzlaf. This perfectly reflects the situation the Ducks have. Their young leaders, such as Rakell, Silfverberg, Cam Fowler, and Josh Manson on defense, are being led by the previous generation of players, which include Getzlaf and Ryan Miller in net. They are holding down the fort until the next generation of players arrive, and we'll look at who's in the next group in the next part. When they arrive, either the Getzlaf bunch will still be around, or the group that is being mentored by them right now will teach the youngsters. With the current Ducks team, it's about teaching the next generation and giving them the chance to experience the NHL life. So, third question, final question. Where are they going to be? Before I state my opinion, I would like to quote 2 views on the Ducks' future main attraction, 19-year-old Trevor Zegras. The first is from Sportsnet's draft expert Sam Cosentino. The Boston University forward is a star in the making. A slightly longer, more detailed quote from the Hockey News' draft expert Ryan Kennedy. He may be the youngest, and he may need some time with San Diego in the American Hockey League next year. That's the Ducks affiliate. But sooner than later, the Ducks are going to have an ace on their hands. It's clear from the leaders that Zegras, drafted 9th overall in 2019, who played for the Boston University Terriers last year, is a star in the making, and he will be at the head of the next group troops for Anaheim. But he is not alone. Other prospects that are not on their American Hockey League team are Brendan Tracy, who is still in the Western Hockey League after being selected last year 29th overall. And there are more. But their AHL team is also something that should be focused on. The AHL team had 13 players hit 20 points, which was only topped by 4 other teams and tied by 2. Some players in San Diego might end up stars despite their low point totals due to their recent jump to the American Hockey League. This is the case for Hunter Drew, a defenseman who put up 50 points last year, was drafted in 2018. He put up 50 points in the QMJHL before joining the Tulsa Oilers of the ECHL for 5 games, and then moving on to the San Diego Gulls, which are the Anaheim Ducks affiliate in the American Hockey League. However, there's another reason for the low scoring on the Gulls. Most of their players played some games in the NHL this season. Looking through those 13 players that scored 20 points, 9 of them played at least 9 games with the big club, and 1 of them played 8. Because they're playing in the NHL for parts of the season, their AHL team becomes weaker. There's one more note, which is the goalies. The duo in the AHL of 2012 Philadelphia second-rounder Anthony Stolarz, who had a .922 save percentage through 39 games, and undrafted Kevin Boyle, .911 save percentage, stood tall. They literally stood tall. As you can see, Stolarz is 6'6" and Boyle is 6'1". They're the main reason why people look at the standings, and look at the scoring, and look confused. While both goalies have bounced around a lot, if one of them is given a solid backup spot around 20 or 30 games, they'll thrive. They do have another goalie, who they drafted in the third round in 2018, named Lukas Dostal. He only started playing professional hockey 3 years ago, but signed a 3-year contract with the Ducks last year. He's under contract until 2021 in Finland, but every time that he has played 35 or more games for one team, he has posted a .920 save percentage or higher, and every time he has played 20 or more games, he has never gone below a .909 save percentage. According to Martin Madden, assistant general manager of the Ducks, as reported by Anthony Ciardelli, I hope I'm pronouncing his name right, of the Hockey Writers, on July 17th, 2020, I think he's shown a maturity beyond his years. Even though he is a true freshman in terms of pro, he'll be playing his 20-year-old season, and I think he's ready to lead the way and earn the #1 spot at the American League level. Conclusion. So, after going through the Ducks' history, it is safe to say that the Ducks are in a rebuild after years of contention. 3 second-round appearances, 2 Western Final appearances, never missing the playoffs for 5 straight years. They're taking the idea of mentoring the next generation and the rebuild as a whole seriously. Having Zegras does help, but having pieces to build around him is key. I believe that if the Ducks keep on developing their other key players with mentoring, and they let Zegras take a few more years, the Ducks' time of contending will be soon and long. Please feel free to leave a comment on how I did and what I can do to improve. You can leave a comment below or on the skates, the stick, and the pen.wordpress.com, where the script for this video will be posted. Have a great day.